What's going on, Spitfires? Welcome back to another episode of the Spitfire Podcast. I am your host, Lauren Lemunion, the Spitfire Coach, coming to you with another episode. We are continuing our Reset series. If you are listening to this in real time, every week there is a new episode to help you refocus back on yourself as we are re-emerging from the pandemic, as we are restarting new routines. Maybe we're going back to the office. Maybe we're seeing family again. Maybe we're seeing friends again. Maybe we're not quite sure who we want to see. But if you're not subscribed yet, make sure that you go to either Apple Podcasts, Google Play. You can go to spitfirepodcast.com. Make sure you're subscribed so that you get these weekly reminders to help put yourself back in the driver's seat of your priorities. So I was thinking about today's episode and kind of what's been going on in my life and what I've seen with my clients, what I've seen and heard from friends. And summer is upon us. Next week, as I'm recording this, is Memorial Day. The pools are opening up here and the weather has just been amazing. Like, it's been 80 and 90 degrees. And as of yesterday in the DC region, all of the restaurants are fully open. So as of May 21st, we are back to being open. But what does that mean? We still are in a pandemic. A lot of us are vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. But we are still in this uncertainty. When we have been living in very restricted times, when we've been self-quarantining for over a year, we have settled into a new routine. We've settled into our new kind of standard operating procedure. And so to think that we can all flip a switch and be like, we're back to normal and everything's great, is a nice pipe dream, but it can elicit a lot of stress and anxiety because we don't fully know what's going on with the rest of the people around us, how safe the vaccine is. Like, I trust science, I trust doctors. I'm all about the CRISPR technology. I watch lots of documentaries on it, and I have my confidence there, but there's still kind of this gray area about watching other people. I mean, I used to be one of those people, like, watching people like hawks of, why aren't they wearing a mask? Why are they standing next to people? And the reality is, we can't control other people. We never have been able to. But somehow we think that sending eye daggers is going to make us be able to shift people's behaviors or give them the clarity of waking up and seeing things how we see them. So this is a reminder as we are coming back into communities, into interactions. This past week, I just started doing group fitness classes outside, which I have not done in 2+ years, and it's been awesome. But it was an adjustment. I'm like, should I be wearing my mask? Am I supposed to be this close to somebody? And I realized, like, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm kind of breathing into this new existence of, you know what, I can interact with people. Maybe I'm going to stay next to the person I know who I know is vaccinated. I'm going to keep my distance from people I don't know, but I can still be social. So the reality is we all have this comfort threshold. We always have. We have become more alert to it. We've become more aware of it. And obviously it was for health reasons. But let's take this into consideration moving forward. If you are more on the introverted side of the spectrum, you probably don't want people hugging you anyway. You probably like to have one-on-one conversations and to have space and time. You don't want somebody coming and rushing into your space and screaming and and all that stuff. So I am a firm believer that you always want to take the temperature of the room and default to the person that looks the most uncomfortable. Like, if somebody seems like they're, off to themselves, like, match their energy in that way. Like, be cognizant, be conscious, and be empathetic of it. Like, you don't have to change who you are, but by being aware, it gives you all of these different options on how to show up. You don't have to just show up like, the red carpet has been rolled out and you're like doing cartwheels down it. It's not appropriate for every situation. And so that's the big takeaway for me in this, is that I can take my time coming back in, and I can be completely transparent about it and saying, you know what, this is my first class. This is my first time back out. And people are relatively respectful of that, even if they have been more out there, more social throughout this. That's the message that we can send, of saying, here's what I'm comfortable with. Here's how I'm showing up. Here's what I'm thinking. and we default to that. We don't make people feel bad because they're not where we are. We don't try to push them into situations that they're not comfortable with. We meet them where they are and we say, okay, cool. When you're ready to take this next step, here's where I am. So if we can use more of this empathetic awareness as we re-enter, as we get back to interacting with people, I think we're going to have a lot more compassion as a society. I think we're going to have a lot more patience with ourselves and the people around us. And we don't have to feel this rush, rush, rush. We're actually deploying this patience in understanding different perspectives, which actually will increase your emotional intelligence. So the more that we can step outside of our bubble to look at things from other people's perspectives, at other people's experiences, it will give us a much more comprehensive and diverse worldview outside of just our experience. So anytime like you hear yourself saying, well, I don't understand why they do it that way. I'm fine with it this way. Take a second and pause and ask yourself, well, why do I think that way? What have I experienced that's opened this up? And maybe what has this person been triggered by, or what have they had happen that prevents them from feeling this way? So it's not about changing it, but understanding what their experience has been that leads to differences in perspectives. And then it can actually open up different conversations and understanding each other. So as we are out, as we are working with other people, as we are meeting new people, as we are revisiting former people that used to be in our lives, just be really patient, be gentle, be kind, and remember to think before you speak. The acronym THINK stands for what is true, what is helpful, what is my intent, what do I notice, and how do I exhibit kindness. So I hope that you think before you speak. I hope that you are really deploying your empathetic awareness. I hope that you are getting out because the world is beautiful. The birds are chirping. They're eating up all the cicadas. They're super happy. And we have been through a lot. So let's not take a single minute for granted. Let's go and breathe in the pollen, even if it gives us an allergic reaction. And you guys keep being awesome.